Time to start,
I said, you got a cough. That cough you've got.
Okay, so in the last video, we found out that KSI discovered what the common cold was. And because of this important discovery, it meant that he pulled out of the Danis fight and the fight had to be postponed.
I tried my hardest, but my body has legit just given up. I'm currently in bed, taking antibiotics, trying to recover, but I'm struggling. I'm coughing up greenish yellow shit all the time. My sinuses are hurting to the point where I need ibuprofen every day.
So yes, the Danis fight ended up getting postponed. Of course, everyone was absolutely devastated with this news. But lots of people were actually speaking about this because it was just so incredibly pathetic. But a funny thing that has come from this is KSI's been streaming and been doing other bits on the day of the fight and, you know, around the day that the fight was meant to be. And he just isn't sick. Like, genuinely, there's this clip that's going viral at the moment because KSI is speaking normally, right? And he just remembers that he's ill and gives a little sneeze and cough.
Celebrating times, come on! Da 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 da. Celebrate good times, come on! I fixed it! The uncle fixed it! Okay. Let me calm down.
I'm not saying that he's never been ill or hasn't been ill during around the fight time, right, which meant that he had to postpone the fight. I'm not saying that that isn't legitimate, but he's clearly faking that. He's clearly forcing that cough because he looks completely fine. He doesn't want the perception that, you know, he was just pulling out for the sake of pulling out and postponing, and that he wasn't actually ill. So he's added that cough, but it's made it look 10 times worse. Because he is clearly fake coughing, right? That isn't a real cough. That isn't something that's genuine. There's clearly forced. There's no actual cough behind it. He's just doing that because, you know, he's realised that him singing and shouting might look bad after he said that he's too ill to fight. But no, this isn't why I've just solely made this video. There's lots of reactions from Danis I want to go over, the face-to-face, but more importantly, the Sidemen gave a reaction to all of this, and when it comes to KSI, they usually give pretty grounded takes.
To Josh and pulled out of his fight. That was all Josh.
Yeah, it was all me.
Josh jumped in the chat and said, JJ, you've got a cough, hang it up. And he said, JJ said, yes.
Time to start, I said, you got a cough.
See, we have Zerka to thank for saving us from a fight that nobody wanted to see. Genuinely, nobody wanted to see this fight. I haven't seen a single soul that has said, oh yeah, I'm really devastated that I can't be going to this fight, because just no one gives a shit.
That cough you've got. Yeah. Did you see the clip of him commentating Bundesliga?
No.
So he's like proper into it,
and then
he looks at his chat slightly and goes, oh man. Like all the comments is like, is the fakest cough.
Yeah, I see one on
most theatrical cough I've seen.
They've always given props to the Sidemen that they can call out KSI's bullshit. They're not constantly meat riding him, and this is another great example. They're bringing up these clips. They bring up the fact that KSI clearly faked that cough when he got called out by his fans in the chat, when he realised that, you know, maybe doing this doesn't make me look sick. I've got no proof that KSI never had a cold, right, or that he was never ill enough to be able to postpone the fight, but by fake coughing like this and, you know, doing this on stream, it makes you look like you were lying and that you were faking and that, you know, you could have been pretty well enough to fight.
I do really feel for JJ though, because again, being honest, in his defense, I had a milder version of what he had, and I was like written off, and I wasn't even training.
Yeah, I've still got
I've still got a bit of
But he has that, and then he's doing a really hard trainer. It's gonna fuck him.
I had the same thing. And I did nothing all week.
The thing is, though, is nobody's going to have any sympathy for KSI because, in his own words, he pushed through his training whilst he was ill instead of taking a rest, which made it 10 times worse. He's only got himself to blame. So, of course, when people see clips of him acting pretty fine, nobody's going to take sympathy on him and say, oh, I'm glad he's recovering. People are just going to mock him and say that he's lying and that, you know, he could have fought.
That's
my body hurt.
Yeah. And he should stop training.
Yeah, he should have. But also, it's like the
then
timing.
He risks getting battered by Dillon.
The timing was so bad.
I think it's still bad, Dillon. Take a week off. Get back to full health.
No, you never know.
You just never know, right?
I'm going to kind of critique them here because, of course, he should have taken a break during his training. That's, of course, something that you should do. If you're that ill and you're feeling that ill, pushing through it is only going to make you feel worse, and which has led to the fight being postponed. If you're that ill, you should take a break and try and rest up so that you can fight. I mean, he's been training for so long that I think he would genuinely be fine against Danis. Of course, by pushing through your training when you're that ill, and instead of resting up and trying to get better for the fight, of course, you're going to make yourself more ill. This is just common sense that apparently these people just completely lack.
And it's like if you're in the mindset of being in that like training mode leading up, if you go out of that, then to step back in like 1 week before.
The game is the game.
Yeah.
We keep it moving, keep it rolling.
Nobody's saying he had to take like a week off, just genuinely a few days to rest, to make sure that his body was fine, that he was fine, and that he could get back into training. 1 or 2 days isn't going to lose him the fight against someone like Dillon Danis of all people. And if so, that tells you more about KSI's boxing ability than it does anything else. But of course, Dillon Danis has been having an absolute field day with all of this for the past couple of weeks now. Even his own friends know he's faking. Logan's got that boy on a tight leash. I wouldn't say the Sidemen know that he's faking or they're admitting to him faking it. They're just addressing a pretty popular clip that's going around of him seemingly looking like he is faking it, but then they follow up saying that he's been incredibly ill and that, you know, they had what he had before that him, and that, you know, they were very ill. They're addressing that clip is all. I think it'd be pretty disingenuous to say that in that clip they confirmed that KSI was 100% faking this thing. KSI's career, KSI's relationship with Dillon Danis standing over the grave. This guy would do anything but fight Dillon Danis. Do you reckon Dillon Danis is self-aware that nobody wants to see this fight and that when he's tweeting things like this, a lot of people just don't really care, right? People would much rather that he did anything but fight Dillon Danis because nobody wants to see this fight. Nobody's interested in this remotely. It's the same thing I've been saying for the past few months since this got confirmed, is that nobody wants to see this fight, and that narrative really hasn't changed much at all. If any UFC fighter pulled out of a fight due to sickness and was then seen out at a concert on the night of the fight, it would be an automatic cut from the company. I think the argument that would be made, right, is that he's well enough to be able to go and watch something, go enough to partake in something, but not box, right? He doesn't have that strength. But my thing would be that you just wouldn't go and do anything, right? Surely you'd be wanting to rest up so that you can then eventually fight Dillon Danis and the fight isn't postponed for too long. Never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, KSI, his girlfriend's main source of income. Fucked up. If the roles were reversed, I'd be getting mauled by you guys and the media. Whilst Dillon Danis is true that there hasn't been any major bad press for KSI in the media due to this, a lot of his fans and viewers online and people have been clowning him for this pretty constantly and have been mauling him. I think it's pretty disingenuous again to act like, you know, fans and people alike haven't been going at him for this. KSI cancelled the fight to go to an Usher concert. I'm done. KSI was never sick. Logan made him pull out. I called it from day one and no one believed me. You can't make this shit up. At KSI, fake the sniffles. He's a scared little bitch. I was told he couldn't get out of bed, and he's out on the night of the fight. What the F? I think it goes without saying that this isn't a great look, right? Him being out on the night of the fight is not a great look whatsoever. It makes him look like he's lying, and that's why a lot of people are saying he's lying. Not only did it look like he was faking like a cough on stream, but, you know, being out on the night of the fight isn't a great look whatsoever. I don't know what KSI was really thinking there, or if he was even thinking. Fight day. Hopefully no one gets a stuffy nose and cancels the entire event for all the fans and fighters. And that's mainly all that Dillon Danis has been saying. But of course, I do want to quickly go over the face-to-face.
Dude, no one knows you in America. No one knows I'm fighting you.
That is actual
No one
cap.
knows you.
That's cap. I got a gold with thick of it.
This is ironically the best bit of this video. It's the funniest bit. It actually gave me a little chuckle, so thank you for that, Dillon Danis. But no one cares about this fight. This video racked over just a little over 100,000 views. Nobody cares. But nobody watching, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think that KSI is genuinely sick, or do you think he was faking it? Please feel free to comment down below, and anything else you want to comment down. And whilst you're down there, you might as well hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a future video. But I have been your host, Samuel, and I'll catch you in the next YouTube video.